Hey guys, so you may be noticing I'm using a different spot than usual. That's primarily because I moved the punching bag that was in my room that I put the camera on, so I'm using new spaces. Woo! Brand new environment. Anyway, I'm going to talk briefly about a movie I just saw, which is Valhalla Rising. Yes, this movie's a little bit strange. If you haven't heard of it, I would not be surprised. If you have heard of it, you probably heard that it is strange. It follows the life, if you want to call it that, of or afterlife. Ooh, no, of a man named One Eye and his early prison feeder. I don't exactly know what title you give them, but they feed the prisoners. And he's a little kid, and they basically chronicle their story. Um, uh, it follows them through the captivity phase and into other phases. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a trip to the Holy Land, quote unquote. There's a trip to hell. It's a very strange movie. And once again, I don't want to give too much away because that's the only redeeming factor of this movie is how strange it is. The overall dialogue is very interesting in the fact that there isn't very much, and what there is very slowly delivered. It's a very thoughtful movie in that sense because you have to think about what they're saying because there's not much else to do. The camera shots are interesting in that they play a lot around with the lighting. The blood's not very realistic, but at the same time, it's kind of like a gory movie without having too much gore. In a sense, you know, you're not seeing actual organs get ripped out except for like one time, kind of. And other than that, it's a fairly non-gory movie for a very gory plot. Once again, it's a very kind of slow movie, kind of build-up movie. Anyway, what else about it? There's a couple weird factors about it. It's dealing with Christianity hitting seemingly the Nordic area, Scandinavia, I guess. However, it does not focus on that. It also deals with very, in-your-face Christianity to a certain extent, kind of crusader ideology. Once again, not going too in depth. What's really interesting is the main character, if he speaks at all, which you throw some question marks up on that. I don't think he speaks at all through the entire movie, which is amazing. They basically have this little kid talk for him throughout the movie, and it's kind of a creepy factor. What else about the movie? It's kind of predictable where they end up. I mean, you knew where they were. You didn't really need to, get such an obvious giveaway at the end, if you ask me. But I think it kind of ends it kind of well. One of the weird factors of the movie was they didn't really deal with any. It really didn't have any women in it, which is a very interesting factor. No female character had a speaking role, or I think any. I mean, I might have just been a straight male movie, or if there was a female role, it was incredibly limited. And I didn't notice it. Overall, though, it was a very interesting movie. Would I suggest it for people? Not really, unless you're looking for a very weird movie. Then go for this. What else? See, I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not trying to talk that much actually about the movie. Valhalla Rising. Also, one of the weirdest parts of the movie is that they give the Nordic individuals in the movie, the Vikings, if you want to call them that, or I guess they're Christian Vikings, kind of. I don't know if Christians are Vikings or not. I'm not that much of a history buff. But at any rate, they give them English accents, which I thought was an interesting touch because it would have been made a lot more sense if they had Nordic accents or something. You know what I mean? So, but in a way, it kind of, I guess it's anglified or whatever. You know, they needed English actors. I thought that the acting for the roles that they were given was done very well. I thought the words, the dialogue was interesting and original. I think that's one of the biggest things that you can say for the movie is that it's very original in a sense. I mean, it kind of follows the traditional hero's journey, um, only with, or you know, well, maybe not exactly the traditional hero's journey, but it follows it close enough that you can definitely see roots in it. Anything else that I want to mention? It probably a lot of the good things about the movie come from the anticipation of something happening, and it's in that way it actually captures what the characters are feeling in the moments in the movie. In other words, they're not doing that much, but because they're not doing that much, you constantly have the anticipation that something's going to happen, and that in itself is entertaining to a certain extent, at least for some people. No, I keep saying a certain extent, but I mean, I find that entertaining. I'm not sure if you would. It's not exactly a Hitchcock film, but it kind of has a lot of you know energy in each moment, even though nothing's happening. Um, what else? I think that's about it. Once again, I'll mention the lighting for the scenes, especially on the boat, were interesting. Also, the whole atmosphere on the boat was it was very intense for nothing happening. I mean, I think that this would make an interesting play. I don't exactly know what other format you could really put this in. The movie seems to have captured it all right. That's basically it. I keep saying too. Anyway, once again, I recommend it for people that are looking for a strange movie, a different kind of movie, something arguably original, though I'd say that it still has kind of traditional plot themes and movements throughout it. But definitely an interesting movie, and if you're into Vikings, I think you'll probably like this as well. Otherwise, you should probably stay away from this movie because this is probably not your kind of movie. That's basically it. Um, Subscribe, comment, rate. Have a great day. Bye.